You're listening to Beauty, Strength, and Dominance, the official podcast of Lingerie Fighting Championships. And now, here's your host, Michael Larkin.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another edition of Beauty, Strength, and Dominance, the official LFC Lingerie Fighting Championships podcast. My name is Mike Larkin, and joining me today, folks, when you think of Beauty, Strength, and Dominance, when you think of amazing women doing their thing in the content game and podcasting thing, you think of this woman. It is LFC fan. It is my friend, the one, the only Miss Wrestling Gal herself, Ella J. How are you, Ella? It has been a while.
I know. WrestleMania 38 might have been the last time. It's been a while, yeah, and here we are now, right after WrestleMania 41. I'm so happy to be back.
Same. The feeling is mutual. I mean, I look at it like this. You and I are both very hard on the grind with what we do with our respective shows and our wrestling fandom. So I think a better way to start this than with the WrestleMania weekend. We'll touch upon a lot of the news and notes, but I got to say, folks, LFC, the tagline is a little bit of MMA, a little bit of wrestling, and a little bit of clothing. So for this particular show, you're going to get a little bit of the wrestling, if you will, to quote Ted Turner during the WCW days, rocking the WCW Monday Nitro shirt. Let's talk about this because not only were companies involved, I want to start it off with this because one of the big news that came out of WrestleMania wasn't even on the show. It was on the kickoff, LJ. WWE has acquired AAA Wrestling.
That was not on my bingo card. I don't think it was on anybody's bingo card.
No, and I mean, they've been talking for years about many different NXT brands. If you can morph this into NXT Mexico, I'm happy. It gives so many people some work. There's so many great luchadors and luchadoras out there. What are your thoughts on this news? Because again, crazy times we are living in.
Yeah, and plus we're getting Worlds Collide. I think it's a good parallel because, you know, AEW has CMLL and now WWE is going to have AAA. Obviously, the booker of that, Conan, is a WWE, WCW alumni. He's great friends with Rey and Dominic Mysterio, so there's a relationship. Obviously, Stephanie came out of there. We saw El Hijo David Kingo at WrestleMania, so they're already planting the seeds. The only kind of caveat or downside to that is their current world champion, who I hope they take the title off of before then. So I would love if they could get that situation resolved before this officially goes into effect in or at least till we get Worlds Collide in June. So they got like a month and a half to, I hope, sort this out. Then I'll be super, super happy about it. But for right now, I'm like, that's cool. But they still got some work to do before they officially begin everything, I will say.
You see the face I made there. You had to put the groan on because of who their world champion.
I had to. I didn't say your name, but yeah.
I know. You know what it is too? And I mean, with that fact and being in there, I think they definitely will take care of that. But I look at it like this. I look at someone like Rey Mysterio, who was there on that panel. Rey could be a huge one to help a lot of the talent there, much like we've seen be like the in-between with Conan as well. I think it's great for more people to get work. And on the other side of things, AEW and what they got with CMLL is really great as well when Worlds Collide in their Grand Slam Mexico. And I think even what's even cooler is WWE gives you when Worlds Collide and then Money in the Bank the same day. So there's a lot of wrestling being infested right there, man.
Yeah, it's crazy this whole year. Like just WrestleMania weekend alone. I mean, we saw people at Bloodsport now. Natalia is going to wrestle Kenzie Page at NWA. WWE has a relationship with Pro Wrestling Noah, GCW with the WWE ID. What crazy, these last few years have been crazy. Like 5 years ago, you would have been like, no, because it was like just WWE. Oh, and TNA as well. WWE and TNA. Like, it's a crazy world we're living in right now. Forbidden Door who? It's just like, you know, it's crazy, the world that we're in right now.
I look at it like this, and I'm glad that you brought that up because, I mean, if this was under the old guard, this would never happen. And I think for me, it started like when NXT started working with TNA and you saw Jordan Grace and you saw all of these people, including now Ethan Page is going to be wrestling for the TNA World title coming weekend at Rebellion. I think it's healthy, like we mentioned, giving people work, but you need to open that. And can I just say right now, Natalya Neidhart, where is this Natalya on TV? My goodness, the promo that she cut, the bout at Bloodsport with Mayu, this bout with Kenzie Page coming up, Kenzie Page attacking her at her training facility. My God, I'm excited for this.
So am I. They just, at the time of recording this, officially announced it today. They set the little seeds for it at Bloodsport, and her and Natalia have been going back and forth on social media. Gail Kim is also going to be at the Crockett Cup, so maybe we'll have some interaction there. It's crazy. It's like, who else is WWE going to work with? We'll see.
I'm right there with you. And I mean, I look at it like this. I think the biggest one from WrestleMania weekend, Randy Orton's waiting for that opponent. And then we say his name and he appears.
Yeah.
Joe, did you have Joe Hendry on your list to be the
No, I had a list. I'm wearing my Randy Orton shirt, by the way.
Hey.
No, I did not have Joe. I saw Joe Hendry's name thrown out there earlier in the day. I was like, no way, because like they've only, unless you count the Royal Rumble, it's been mainly like just NXT talent. I was like, they're not going to have like a TNA talent on the Royal Rumble. And then I come to find out later, also Jeff Hardy was pitched to face Randy Orton. So we almost had Jeff Hardy as well. Did not have Joe Hendry on my bingo card. I saw some people throwing it out, but I thought it was going to be like Grayson Waller and Austin Theory, and we get like 2 RKOs or something, or maybe people were throwing out Rusev. No, I did not have Joe Hendry on my bingo card. I will say, though, I was happily surprised to see him, though.
Same here. I think for my list as well, because I had him, I thought Solo, because he's from Las Vegas, and we saw that interaction. And Karrion Kross, also from Las Vegas.
Yeah.
And that promo, just if y'all have not seen that promo from Karrion Kross, my goodness, that man went ham. Very reminiscent of like Brian Pillman from the 90s, very much Cannon vibes. And I mean, I also had as well. I also, in my mind, thought Austin Theory and Grayson Waller as well, because like you mentioned, like the 2 RKOs are just because those two have had a history in their own right. But Joe Hendry, I'm here for it, because if we talk about Forbidden Door who and what supersedes, we have ever thought that we would have the TNA World Heavyweight Champion wrestle at WrestleMania?
Never.
No. And I mean, I'll even ask you this as the follow-up, because we always see a lot in the internet wrestling, the community, the IWC discourse, if you will. I saw people out there, oh my God, it was only 3 minutes. Oh my God, it was so short. Joe Hendry gets a spotlight for TNA at WrestleMania. And it was great. The friggin' he does the pose, the RKO out of nowhere. Perfect. Like, sometimes it doesn't matter if he lost his. That is a huge plus for TNA right there.
Yeah, I will say, I mean, obviously I was like, Randy's not losing. It's his 20th. Right. And also Randy hadn't won a PLE since he came back as Survivor Series. It's been 1.5 years since he won a PLE. It's like, this man is not losing. I will say I was a little surprised at kind of how short it was. I'm okay with it, how it turned out. I wish it was like 2 minutes longer. Give Joe Hendry like 5 minutes with Randy Orton. That's fine. 3 minutes, or I don't even know the exact length of it, but it was definitely not 5 minutes. It might have been 3 or 2, like you said. I wish it was a little bit longer, considering he's the TNA World Champion.
Right.
But I guess they can use that in TNA, like, oh, you lost in 3 minutes at WrestleMania, blah blah blah. They can use that in storyline, but I thought you might want to give him a little bit more leverage, like he can go 5 minutes with Randy Orton as opposed to 2 or 3. But what an awesome moment. Like, not many people can say they wrestle Randy Orton at WrestleMania. So I will say I enjoyed it. It's a great moment. Just, if we're going to nitpick a little bit, just wish it was like 2 minutes longer. Just a little bit.
That is a fair comparison and a fair thought. I mean, I have to look at it like this too. I immediately thought of you because we're going to get into Randy Orton here, and especially with that T-shirt. Your thoughts on the 23-year-old, the representation of the gear of the tights that he wore practically when he made his debut? I thought that was a nice.
I know. I did too. I didn't realize at first, and I'm like, wait a minute. It is like his very first on SmackDown. Also in April of 2002. Crazy how much time has flied. Oh my God.
Right. And I mean, speaking of time is flat, I got to bring it up because 2009 Ella J over here in 2010, I saw the post on the Twitter. Let's talk about this. John Cena and Randy Orton are facing each other in 2025, but with Randy Orton being the babyface and John Cena being the heel.
I know.
What?
I know. I feel like I have to go get my poster. It's right over there. Oh my God. Like, even the promo they cut today, like, was hilarious. And also though, like, Randy Orton, okay, I have to say this was a little funny because Randy Orton today on SmackDown was like, I can't believe you would say that to me after all that we've been through. Yet 2009 Randy Orton was out here punting John Cena's dad and beating this man in a last man standing match. or no, I quit match, sorry. It was just hilarious. Like, who would have thought, like, the parallels? Like, even in 2014, Randy was heel and John was babyface. We've never really seen the roles reversed against each other. So it's fresh. I really wanted John Cena because Randy Orton made a line and like, you should have been a father. Like, that was the perfect segue for John Cena to say F them kids. He didn't do it though. Like, hello. That was the only thing. Like, John, you had an open opportunity to do that. But man, yeah, I am absolutely so hyped. I love John Cena, but I love Randy. I've always been a Randy girl. So of course I'm rooting for the Viper.
Friggin' F them kids from Cena, and that's classy. 6-year-old just gave me the finger. Classy.
I mean, and he didn't even say it after that. Like, you had the opening to do it.
It's so good. And you know what it is, too? I look at it like this, and I'll show my age here. So the first time I saw these two wrestle was at SummerSlam 07. This is when Randy started doing the punt, and that was the early inklings of the John Cena feud. That's why I'm laughing when you said it, because it's like you literally took this man, pulled his father over the guardrail, punted him in the head, tried to blow him up on pay-per-view.
Yeah.
But hey, come on, John. You know, how dare you say that to me?
The Randy Orton I know would never just stand there and take.
Come on, John, grow up, man. Have some kids. Like,
Yeah.
who are you?
That's
yes,
funny.
it is. But I think it's so perfect with them going right into St. Louis, Missouri to see this match. It's a nostalgia trip for everybody, but I'm here for it.
Now, Randy is not going to win,
No.
but I am absolutely going to root for him, and it's in his hometown. We're gonna have a great time singing. We're all winners, like, all around, like, regardless. So I do hope Cody gets involved somehow. Like, we haven't seen Cody yet. He's reportedly enjoying a little bit of a break. I would be shocked though if we didn't get any Cody in a lead up to Backlash. So I'm interested to see how, like, what happens there with the Cody dynamic, him losing, but like Randy stepping up and Cody not getting a rematch. I'm interested to see what happens there.
I am as well, and especially when Cody was the champion, you saw Randy eyeing that title. So there's that dichotomy of mentor and student there. So I think that adds something for going forward. And I got to ask you something about going forward, because people have been talking about it. We mentioned John Cena and Cody Rhodes. I don't think it's the worst WrestleMania main event of all time. I think that's a little stretch. But Travis Scott comes down, takes his time, by the way. That man
took his sweet ass time.
And John Cena's literally laughing in the middle of the ring, like, oh, it's Travis. And then he comes down, and he goes to do the Rock, like, boom to Cody, and then he gets the crossroads, and John Cena low blows him and wins the title by hitting him in the face with the title. Your thoughts on this main event? Because it's been a whole thing. Just, I want to get your thoughts, and then I'll go back on you with it.
It was the expected outcome,
right?
But I also expected more. Is the thing. Like, I mean, obviously, if you haven't read, like, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson has already explained afterwards, but we didn't know at the time that he was never planned to be at WrestleMania. He was only at Elimination Chamber to boost ticket sales, even though it was already at like 30,000 like a week before. So I don't know the validity to that or not, but that's what he said. So he was apparently never planned to be kind of on the road to WrestleMania or at WrestleMania because, you know, I get it. He said that he didn't want to take the spotlight from Cody and Cena, but like it made so much sense I don't think we would have been complaining. Like we were complaining that he wasn't there. So it turned out to be the opposite of what he thought. We were expecting him to be there and then he wasn't. It's like, okay, he wasn't there. I thought like maybe Randy Orton would come out in the main event, Travis Scott get involved. Randy was just saying like Cody's his dude, and then he didn't even come out during the main event to try and help him. Was a little bit surprised if we weren't going to get Rock, like we didn't even get Randy to kind of combat Travis Scott. I thought that there was going to be a little bit more, but evidently there wasn't. It was the outcome I wanted, but like I also wanted more on the way to it, you know?
I mean, I've pitched so much scenarios myself on my show. Like, I mean, I even would have had, if not Stone Cold driving that damn ATV, my God. I would have rather had, like, Stone Cold come out and, like, the face-off with The Rock and then stunners galore and Cody wins their Cena. There were so many different ways that they could have went with it. But I'm like, even if we would have gotten what we gotten and The Rock come out at the end to, like, raise Cena's hand and have the three of them together like the Elimination Chamber. Cool. But I understand his thought process, but I'm like, you're the main antithesis of this. You did this.
Yeah, like you were the catalyst to it, you know? Like this is not the instance to be humble, Dwayne.
Right.
This is the instance where it actually makes sense, you know?
Makes sense. But yeah, I mean, there's been talks in discourse that of possibly having Cena and Travis Scott as a tag team. And I mean, if we get John Cena and Travis Scott against Cody and Bad Bunny, all right.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, there's something there. There's something to be cooking there as well.
Depends. We haven't really. I mean, Travis took the Crossroads pretty well. He was selling it lying there dead, so he sold that pretty well. It's just now, can he like safely hit somebody without giving them a black eye or a busted eardrum?
Yeah, like
He's apparently been training with Booker T though, so like I don't know. And Booker's been training for years, and you know you've seen a lot of stars come out of Reality of Wrestling, so who knows? Maybe Booker can put him into shape. We'll see.
I will say this first of all, perfect analogy there with what Booker T's done with Reality of Wrestling. And I have to mention this since you are the wrestling gal here. Your girl Athena was just on AEW. Her Mercedes Moné, let's put this over, man, tore it down. What were your thoughts on that? And now we're going towards Mercedes Moné and Jamie Hayter for that Owen Hart Cup now.
Jamie,
yes.
It was a dream match that Athena wanted for me. Like, I was still surprised. Like, they had faced off so many times in, like, Royal Rumbles and tag matches, but I was very surprised to learn that they had never faced off one-on-one, like, ever. You would have thought, but no, it didn't. So I was very happy with the match. It delivered. Personally, I thought it should have main evented, but I get why it didn't. I mean, how can you not praise that? I just hope now Mercedes has taken 2 L's in tag team matches, so technically she didn't get pinned, but we've seen her lose. It's time. I like Mercedes a lot. I don't think it's beneficial to have her win a 5th belt, 4th championship. I just don't really find the appeal in that personally. I like her a lot. I would like to have her focus on the title she already has. Although I will say, assuming Toni Storm still holds the title by then, Toni Storm and Mercedes, great match. Do not really like the idea of Mercedes potentially getting a fifth title belt. Run back Jamie and Toni, because Jamie technically never got her rematch when she lost the title to Toni Storm at Double or Nothing 2 years ago. So it's time for Jamie to get her rematch now when Toni is Timeless Toni, and it would kind of be full circle. The finals are going to be at Double or Nothing between Jamie and Mercedes. Let this be a full circle moment for Jamie, because the last time she was at Double or Nothing, poor girl was wrestling injured and it was a squash and she got beat. So I'm rooting for Jamie Hayter here.
I'm right there with you as someone who also doesn't appreciate the craft that Jamie Hayter does. I think if we don't get Toni and Jamie, it's a crime, because that's long-term, like you mentioned, booking and full circle moment. We don't want to turn Mercedes Moné into the female Ultimo Dragon, because then she'll be up to like 9 titles, and it's like that.
Yeah, I don't really want that. Me personally, also just in WWE, like we've had so many like double champs recently. Not too much of a fan of it. Like 1 or 2 is fine, but we've had like 3 at one time. Like it was a little bit much. And meanwhile, Mercedes, again, great in the ring. I just personally don't need her with another championship. Let her focus on the ones she already has. But I will say, also, Mercedes Moné versus Kanji at Rev Pro. That was also WrestleMania weekend. Kanji put up a heck of a fight. Mercedes retained. I'm very excited to see who Mercedes defends against next.
So with that being said, as Kat comes in the way here, I look at it like this. I did see that match as well. Great line of talent with Kanji, and I think she's another one that really has such potential and such a great future. I did enjoy that match as well. I look at it like this. When you think of what happened WrestleMania weekend, another thing I have to mention, because you were very vocal about this as well, you mentioned multiple champions.
Yes.
So you know where I'm going. So Becky Lynch, Bayley gets taken out. Becky Lynch is the surprise tag team partner for Lyra Valkyria. They have history. They're last kickers. They beat Liv and Raquel. Makes sense. Becky finally gets her revenge on Liv. But the next night on Raw, we have the rematch. Lyra takes the Oblivion from Liv Morgan, 1, 2, 3. And then Becky absolutely, to put it in the bluntest of terms, goes absolutely ham and ape shit all over Lyra Valkyria. Like friggin' manhandle slam, manhandle slam, manhandle slam. These people are chanting one more time. They have a 1-day reign. And now we're going to see Becky versus Lyra, I'm assuming, for the Women's Intercontinental title. There's history. She did beat her for the NXT
absolutely, yeah.
But 1 day. 1 day.
It should have been 0 days. I was on a WrestleMania Night 2 post show, and like overall I enjoyed the show, but like that was the one match outcome that I ranted about because I absolutely freaking hated it, because we knew what was going to happen. We knew it wasn't going to be long. It was going to be a setup for Becky versus Lyra, which I was very much excited for. They have history. Becky technically never got a rematch for the NXT Women's Championship, which she lost to Lyra. You know, she wants to elevate that title, which is still very new. Here for that. Great, fine. What was the damn point of a 1-day title reign? Like, I just don't understand. Maybe it was simply because her daughter was there and they wanted to give her daughter a great moment for her mom. I don't know. I just didn't think it was necessary to get to the point that you're obviously going to now, because we all knew Becky was going to turn on Lyra. That was not going to last long. I don't know why you just couldn't do it after the match. Like what you did on Raw, you could have done at WrestleMania. Like Lyra loses and gets pinned and Becky's like, you lost this for me, and then beats her up. Like, I don't understand that it was so unnecessary. That's why I hated it. The feud makes sense. They have history. Just the way to get there was unnecessary, that it legit made me mad. And also because, like, I don't know. I just hated it. I hated that outcome so much. It was so unnecessary in my mind.
No, I feel you. I mean, I look at it like this. Are they going to do kind of like the Raw version of like when Naomi took out Jade? Is it going to be turns out that Becky is the one who took out Bayley, and then we get a Bayley-Becky Lynch feud, but the roles are reversed with Bayley as the babyface and Becky as the heel? Yeah. And on the other side of the coin, I have to ask, Seth Rollins, man, Paul Heyman turning on CM Punk and the Tribal Chief, going with Seth. Mm-hmm. And now we have this new, what a lot of people are calling like the Dangerous Alliance 2.0, Evolution 2.0. Yeah. Do you like that we got Seth, Braun Breaker, and Paul Heyman?
Yes. You know, I was wrong about my prediction. My head told me Roman Reigns. I thought we were going to get a 2022 Royal Rumble all over again. But my heart said Seth Rollins. I was very glad. I wanted Seth. I wanted that double turn from Paul, beat up CM Punk, beat up Roman Reigns, and start with Seth Rollins. I'm so happy. I didn't think that they were actually going to do it. So I was kind of not like surprised, but a little bit surprised. I was very happy they pulled the trigger on that. Seth is like heel, but people are kind of into it as well. And then Braun Breaker, you know, he lost the IC title. He is now moving up a level by being aligned with Paul Heyman and Seth Rollins. Now the question is are they going to have maybe a female member, Becky Lynch, who's a heel now, or are they going to have somebody else? That's a question. There's rumored call-ups happening. It could be one of them. We don't know, but yeah, I'm very so down for Paul Heyman, Seth Rollins, and Braun Breaker.
I look at it like this, with the history that even spans back to 13 years ago now with the Shield, CM Punk, that's their heavies, and Roman and everything. I like it. It makes sense. I love the history and the lineage that goes behind it. And I mean, can we even see Becky now being a heel with her husband and as a woman of the Dangerous Alliance, of this new alliance? I'd love that even more.
I just hope it doesn't become like Death Ridery. Like that's the only thing. If Becky is inserted, I just hope they don't become Death Ridery. Like, I'm here for them terrorizing the division, but just how that Death Riders angle has gone over in other companies in AEW, I hope that it's not like that. I like what they're doing so far, so I hope they keep up that momentum.
I don't mean to make that face, and I like Jon Moxley, but good God, it's not your company anymore. Holy hell. Oh, man. You know what it is? I respect people that want to try something different and the creative aspect, but this ain't it.
Yeah.
This ain't it, man. And the thing is, too, I even like Marina Shafir. I know she's worked hard.
Honestly, Marina is my favorite part. Yeah. Like her just beating up the guys with that briefcase and her being a badass. Marina Shafir to me is the best part of that. Really, the only saving grace.
Yeah, I mean, it reminds me of like when Chyna came out and attacked Terry Reynolds back in the day. Like, she's the silent but deadly type, like the Chyna was in DX. Like, I'm cool with that. That makes sense. And it gives Marina something to do because remember, she was kind of like floating. She was with Nyla Rose. She was over here and boom.
Yeah, she wasn't doing much. I've been enjoying Marina Shafir, but other than that, it's been a bit tough.
No, I'm right with you. And I hate to say that, but it's the truth. And I mean, I look at it like this. Some of my favorite parts, even right now, like I love the Hurt Syndicate, what they're doing now.
Yeah,
that it fits perfectly because it's MJF trying to fit in with them and that thing with Bob, as he calls it. Like the promos have been great, man.
I will say I love the Hurt Syndicate. It's just like every week, like you know what's going to happen. It's like just get to it already, please. After a while, it's been like 5 weeks in a row, maybe 6. After a certain point, you're like, can we just get to this already? You know.
I mean, how many times do I have to see this for like 5 weeks? I get it.
Yeah.
The other thing I have to ask: are you excited now for the Living Legend Killers? The FTR just attacking the Rock and Roll Express.
Oh, that was a rough. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, that was a little bit of a rough segment. I don't know how I feel about it yet. I am excited because Stokely Hathaway is back and Stokely creates magic, so there's potential there. So I'm trying to be optimistic. Wasn't too much of a fan of the promo that we just saw on Dynamite. But like I said, Stokely creates magic. So I'm optimistic they can turn things around. And also we haven't seen really Cope since they turned on him. So we're probably going to get a feud there at some point whenever he returns.
I mean, I'm all for it too. I think when you think of Stokely Hathaway, like perfect mouthpiece, the man is just entertaining as hell. And I mean, when you look at what we're doing as well now, we'll put this into fruition as well, because I know you were a fan of this woman who was with Stokely Hathaway. Man, Chris Statlander.
Yeah.
Man, I love me some Chris Statlander, but god dang, I'm tired of seeing her take any L's. I'm going to put it into the forefront. I love me some Chris Statlander, but I'm tired of the L's. You know what I'm saying? Because she has been an integral part of AEW since its inception. She has grown tremendously over the years. I love me some Chris Statlander, Ella.
That's true. She lost to Mercedes twice. She lost to Megan. I didn't think they were going to run Mercedes and Stat back a third time already. So I was like, Jamie all the way, but also Jamie's my girl anyway. But yeah, I can see your point. Also, like at the end of last year, because I mean, it was kind of an abrupt babyface turn. So they had to like somehow work a way to make it more reasonable. And part of it was like, she's talked about, like, she's trying to regain people's respect and trust. So it's been a process for her still personally, you know, trying to get back into the good graces of the people that she hurt last year. So I think part of it could be that storyline wise, you know, she's still, obviously she puts on bangers. But when it comes to the big ones, she comes up short. So maybe they can use that as fuel for a big thing later this year.
I look at it like this. If you continue to enhance the story with Willow and gaining that trust and coming back together, I'm here for it. And I think the other thing I have to put over, because I love her to death as well, I think this woman is statuesque. She has it. She has the size, the stature, and she's just a badass in the ring.
Megan.
Our girl, Megan Bain, man. Yeah. The Mega Sis, ever since she signed with AEW, I'm like, all right, can we get this woman on TV? She comes out. She's with Penelope Ford. But the Toni Storm match, man, that was so good. And then Tony gets her with the inside cradle.
Yeah.
Wow. Like, give me some more of this. Like, she's been great.
I absolutely, and I didn't think that, like, I'm kind of surprised. Besides that one awkward segment with Thunder Rosa and the chair, I've been really enjoying Penelope and Megan. Penelope has done some fun stuff. I just, like, if you're not going to have, she lost to Toni Storm, like, she could be the one to dethrone Mercedes, honestly. That's what I'm hoping for after the Owen Hart Cup that they build to Mercedes, because somebody's gonna have to beat Mercedes. Well, if we're predicting this, we're predicting Jamie to beat Mercedes, but for the title, somebody's gonna have to beat Mercedes for the TBS Championship at some point. If they can build up Megan Bain again, it could very well be her.
Here's my thing with that, and I love that you pointed out that in the babyface, dominant babyface Megan Bain, absolutely against Mercedes Moné. I have to also ask this: where the hell's Camille? Number one, because first of all, you got a story there with Camille getting taken out and that whole thing. That would be great to go back to that. I think somebody's got to take it off her. If it's Megan Bain, I'm happy with it. But I got to say, the Camille story needs to be wrapped up. I love Camille when she came in. What were your thoughts on that?
Obviously, I mean, I'm a fan of Camille. I've met her in person. She's always been good to me. Obviously, in NWA, like, she was so freaking good. Honestly, she was the star of NWA for what she held the title for almost 3 years.
Yeah, she tore it up during COVID.
Yeah. So actually she held it for over 3 years, I think. I think it was almost like 900 days or 800 days, something like that.
Yep.
She had the title for a long time, and she just kept getting better and better and better. And she was like, there was a lot of hype and stock around her coming in, and like coming in as the bodyguard for Mercedes Moné, you know, makes sense. She was kind of the bodyguard or the insurance in the NWA as well for Strictly Business. But then it just kind of went away, and we never got really Mercedes versus Camille. So obviously there's something going on behind the scenes that we don't know about. But I do agree that that could be something that they could come back to, where Camille's been in hiding, waiting for her moment to pounce. And maybe she's the reason that Mercedes loses the title. I do agree. I would like a little bit of a bow to put on that story finally.
Same. And I think with Mariah May, and I will say this, wherever that woman goes, I have enjoyed her through the Toni Storm feud, her work in Stardom with Mina Shirakawa, who looks to be on her way to AEW. That's another one, man. If you give me some more Mariah May on my TV, wherever, I'm happy with it.
Me too. I mean, if she goes out, man, what a way to end AEW, a banger and Revolution. Oh yeah.
That's my thing too. We have so many great women out here, and I think I've always said this when it comes to professional wrestling. Again, we see the discourse. As long as you're getting the work and you're happy where you're going, do it, rock it. And I mean, I look at TNA with how they're putting the rocket strap to Joe Hendry. We see the rocket strap with all the women there. I got to say, Masha Slamovich, let's put her over here. I love her as the Knockouts champion. She's doing her thing. She has a match coming up at Rebellion. Whew. Masha Slamovich all the way. I know. I see the face. I see the face. Masha Slamovich, yes. Tessa Blanchard. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'll let you take it.
I don't know when this is coming out, but I fear for Masha Slamovich this weekend at Rebellion. I pray. Masha, I believe in you. I pray to God that you retain. I don't pray to God often, but I pray to God that you retain Masha Slamovich, because honestly, like, yeah, you know, it's been really cool. I mean, you have 2 NXT teams competing for the Knockouts Tag Team Championships, and then you also have Fatal Influence going in there in a 6-woman tag match. So I think there's 3 women's matches on the card, which is great. Now, if Masha loses, then that's a different discussion. But for right now, the current state, you go, girls.
I gotta just say, you see, I'll get you back on that one because I'm joking here, but the beginning where we're talking about the AAA champion and the challenger for the Knockouts title, she's a great wrestler. That's all I'll say. But I mean, I look at it like this: Masha Slamovich, I loved her ever since her indie days and where she is now with TNA. Everything that we're doing with Fatal Influence against Rosemary, Zaya Brookside, and everything in that, and including like Lash and Jakara, and everybody went over there. It's a nice influx. And I think with the people that you're putting in there, gives them work, number one, but number 2, it heightens that relationship. And I'll say right now, speaking of relationships, even, I don't know if you've seen some of the Evolve on Tubi, Ella, but my God, another proving ground. You got Kylie Ray there. You got Wendy Chu. You got so many people there. There's a nice influx with really everything, you know?
I want Wendy Chu back on NXT. Like, that's what I want. But yes, it is nice to see her back. And also Kylie getting an opportunity. We've seen Zeta Steel on there, a lot of the WWE ID people and NXT people getting involved in Evolve. So yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot of content. Sometimes it can be a lot, but I'm very happy for the people involved in that.
Absolutely. I think the stories are key. The wrestling is good. And again, this is the healthy need that we need for professional wrestling, especially in the year 2025. And I have to bring this up as well, because we mentioned a lot with TNA. There's so much wrestling in the potpourri that it is. Man, this week the Nemeths went to the Hardy compound. And I
saw the clips of that.
All right. We got to put this into perspective, because I know you're a Jeff Hardy girl. I know you love you some Dolph Ziggler, a.k.a. Nick Nemeth. Who are you pulling for, man?
Oh, my God. Oh. I mean, it's a tag thing, right? Because the Nemeth Bros I saw took the Hardys tag titles. I think they stole them, is what I saw clips. But I guess technically they're facing Willow. Willow. Oh man, like I gotta go Hardy Boys though on this slow. They're the tag champs. Although I am so happy. Also, Ryan Nemeth actually getting opportunities to wrestle is always awesome to see. And it's cool to see them tag team together because we had never really, I mean, you couldn't really see them team together much anyway, because Nick was with WWE for like 20 years. But it's cool to see brothers versus brothers. Doesn't happen a lot in wrestling, also that dynamic. So I'm excited. But if anybody's gonna dethrone the Hardy Boys, the Nemeth Bros would be really fun. But I'm excited to see what happens. I hope they continue. Are we going to see Willow on Rebellion? Are we going to see him past that? We don't know. I think the Hardy Boys are going to be playing some mind games.
All right. If you would have told me, we mentioned bingo cards earlier in the show.
Right?
If you would have told me Jeff Hardy as Will-O-the-Wisp doing the Kendrick Lamar dance, I would have told you were not.
I know.
Oh my God, this man.
You can't hate Jeff. Like,
you can't. Yeah, you cannot hate Jeff Hardy at all. And I mean, I look at it like this, man. I'm so happy that ever since they both left AEW and they're here in TNA. Now it's the tag champs. I'm going to put this into perspective because I know you appreciate this as well. In 5 years since they left the WWE, who would have thought that the Hardy Boys would wrestle on NXT, especially against No Quarter Catch Crew, the bouts they have with Fraxium? That was wild for me. Again, bingo card. The Hardys on NXT in 2025.
I know. And also, like I said earlier, we almost got Jeff Hardy versus Randy Orton at WrestleMania. That would have been like, those are my guys. That would have been even better. But yeah, it's been really fun, especially Fraxium are amazing tag. Like, you never would have, like, this never would have happened 4 years ago, 3 years ago. Like, we're getting some dream matches. I hope, obviously, I don't know how long their contracts are, but I hope the Hardys make the official jump back to WWE to kind of wrap things up. Maybe a nice Hall of Fame induction because they deserve it. But for right now, how can I complain when you have the Hardy Boys and the Nemeth Bros? Like, I have no complaints there.
Me either. And I mean, when you think of the women this week, and I'm going to say right now, Stephanie Vaquer is an absolute gem.
I know.
Her, Julia, Jordan Grace, and Jada Parker. And also, I am happy with heel Julia against Stephanie Vaquer.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
That and Sol Ruca winning the North American Championship in the ladder match. That was an amazing ladder match. I have to ask you first and foremost on this, your thoughts on Stephanie Vaquer now being one of the pivotal points, the NXT Women's Champion, being a dominant force in that division. That women's division on both sides is cooking.
Yeah, also one of, I believe, 3 people to wrestle 3 times during WrestleMania weekend, because you had Stephanie and then also Liv and Raquel wrestled 3 times. Stephanie Stand and Deliver, then Raw against Io Sky. Obviously, that got interrupted. And then she defeated Roxanne Perez on NXT. Stephanie's been rocking things. I hope. I think it seems inevitable rematch between her and Julia is going to be a banger, but I hope, considering she vacated the NXT Women's North American Championship, that she holds the Women's Championship for a considerable amount of time, considering she kind of relinquished the other one so quickly. I hope that she gets a long reign, or else it's like, why did you even do the double champ stuff in the first place? Again, which is kind of what I was saying with the women's tag titles. It's like, what was the point then? So I hope she gets a considerable reign, but I think her and Julia, again, is going to be a banger. Maybe we get that at Battleground. I don't know. Also, Jordan Grace, shout out to her. Seems like, I don't know, she might be on her way to the main roster soon. There's been no news of a draft, surprisingly, but it's around draft time. So we might be seeing some call-ups soon. So I'm excited.
Same here. And I mean, I look at it like this. First and foremost, I'm with you on that. Like, I get she's the fighting champion, but if she's going to beat Fallon Henley and retain the North American title, then relinquish it the next week. It makes no sense, but okay. Yeah. I understand the concept, but my goodness gracious. Now, speaking of concepts, everybody's been talking about it. Ricky Saints. I know I got to get used to that. Ricky Saints and All Ego Ethan Page had a banger on that card. God dang it, man. How? I don't get it, how you fumble that, but goodness gracious me, I'm so excited to see what they're doing, because that was a great match.
by fumble, do you mean AEW fumble them or Ethan losing? Okay.
I'm going the AEW route.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Ethan pitched him. He said before he pitched himself to work in Ring of Honor more just so he would get like more opportunities. We saw him a little bit, but then it kind of just went away. And then we don't really know the situation with Ricky. He hadn't wrestled at least on like television. He had done some indies, but he hadn't really wrestled on television in literally a year. So I'm very happy for him. And obviously it's kind of ironic. He defeated Shawn Spears to win the title, and then he defeated Ethan Page to retain it. So that was another fun little twist on that. And now Ethan is challenging for the TNA World Championship this weekend. I'm excited for Ricky Saints. He's so good on the mic. He has the charisma. WrestleMania is in New Orleans next year, his hometown. What a way to build him up leading into WrestleMania next year with a run in NXT. So I'm excited for him.
Yes, and I will say this. As far as Ethan Page goes, they have an opportunity here because what we saw in NXT with Joe Hendry, if we get Joe Hendry and Obafemi for the NXT title, I'm here for it. But also, number two, how cool would it be if you have Joe Hendry win the NXT Championship going on Impact and Ethan Page wins the TNA World title and they go back to NXT? I'm here for it. The possibilities are endless.
Joe Hendry would have to have some backup to defeat Obafemi. Sure. But I absolutely do at some point want to see either an NXT. I think it's more likely that an NXT person would win a TNA title because WWE is the bigger company. Right. But I also am here for like a TNA person winning like a mid-card or a tag. I don't think it would be a world championship, but like a mid-card or a tag team championship would also be really cool.
That's the thing, too. And I mean, I look at it from a stance like this. And what I love about everything that we saw with this WrestleMania weekend, I have to bring it up because not only did we get that, if y'all have not checked out the Hall of Fame, Michelle McCool had that was a great speech. Very inspiring. Lex Luger getting up from that wheelchair to deliver that speech. My goodness. But the one everybody's talking about this man spoke for like an hour and 6 minutes. One of the longest Hall of Fame speeches. Triple H. Wow.
I heard it was really long. The first thing I woke up to Saturday morning was a clip of Triple H kissing Shawn Michaels. I was like, you go, guys. I only saw clips. I could not stay up. It was a long weekend. I could not stay up and watch that. Like East Coast time, it went to like 4 a.m. But I woke up and the first thing I saw was Triple H kissing Shawn Michaels, and I was here for it. But yeah, I heard it was like an hour and 7 minutes. I was like, dang, that dude must be tired after that.
And Shawn, he's like, I got to get call time for NXT. I got to be there at 5.
Oh my God, yeah, that's so true. So Shawn Michaels did not even sleep. Oh my God, this man took like a 20-minute power nap, and that's probably it. Oh my goat, I'm so sorry. I forgot about that.
So for those who haven't seen, I'll say this spoiler because it's on the YouTube. He goes, you know what? I get an email from Paul, and I'm thinking to myself, who the hell is Paul? What is this, revenge from years of me? Just everything that we've been through on the road, and now he's got his revenge over me. Now he's my boss. Paul's my boss. Like, the whole entire speech, the kiss on the lip was hilarious. But everything that man poured his heart and soul to, I will say this. It's long, but definitely watch the speech. It's really, really good. It tugs on the heartstrings.
Tomorrow is the first day where I like really don't have to watch any wrestling. I'm not watching any wrestling. It's been a long 2 weeks. It's been a great fun 2 weeks, but it's the busiest time of the year. I need 1 day of a break. No wrestling.
I could speak on that because I mean, content creation for both of our respective levels, folks. When it comes to WrestleMania week, it's long. And at 5 o'clock in the morning for a Hall of Fame to go off, and it starts at what? It started like 1 o'clock in the morning, like our time. Jesus,
I was literally asleep by then. I was asleep by like 12:30. Yeah. I watched SmackDown, watched a little bit. I think was Bloodsport Friday night or Thursday night. I don't even remember what day. Like the days are all blurring. Watched a little bit of that and then went to sleep like right before the Hall of Fame started. And then I woke up and saw all the clips.
And I will say this. I mean, WrestleMania had a lot of great moments. It's a fun weekend, It's just everybody comes together and just enjoys the pageantry. And I will say this about WrestleMania. If you've not checked out, we mentioned the main event matches of both nights. They have their stuff more oomph with the main event. I wanted more as well. But I think overall, you could say both solid nights, 2 solid nights.
Night one was a bit rough. Besides, like, outside of the main event of night one was great. The rest was a little bit, I was honestly, for me, I think the biggest surprise of the entire weekend was Gunther tapping out.
Yes.
Honestly, that was, to me, was the biggest surprise of the whole entire week. Okay, obviously Joe Hendry, but like Gunther tapping out, Gunther does not tap out.
I think he only tapped out like one other time in WWE, like Ilya Dragunov. For the
Maybe, yeah, I think so. Like Gunther does not tap out. I did not expect that at all.
I loved it. I mean, I think with Jay finally winning it and beating him after 3 times, it was great. But yeah, I was shocked too. It's like when you had, I don't know, put it to this perspective, because Kazuchika Okada doesn't tap out and then Bryan Danielson makes him tap out. It's like, what the hell are you doing? Like, come on, Okada tapping out. So it's the monumental figures that we have. But yeah, no, I'm right with you. Yeah, the roughness of night one, I definitely agree with you on that. But I look at it from a stance like this. I mean, we did get, here's my thing. I understand AJ Styles is the veteran, but there's also part of me with Logan Paul winning because Karrion Kross comes out and takes the brass nuts from business manager Jeff, and he's like, use them, and then he goes, no, and then Logan Paul hits that pulverizer, 1, 2, 3. What were your thoughts on Uncle Allen taking that pin to Logan Paul?
There was rumors that this might have been AJ's last WrestleMania, so I'm like, Mans is gonna want to put over, the newer talent. So I was expecting Logan to win anyways. I'm glad we got. I will say, like we were talking about Karrion Kross a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Not a fan of that man, but his promos and his creative has been really, really good, especially these last few months that I've slowly, Karrion Kross is growing on me. So I was excited to see him at least out there. If this was AJ's last WrestleMania, then I don't know how I feel about it. I would have liked AJ to win as well, but I was expecting Logan Paul to win, and he did,
I think, and again, people say what they will about him, but I will say this, the man puts in the work. He's not had a bad match. I think he has that character down pat where you just want to slap the living crap out of him. And speaking of someone you want to slap the crap out of, and he has a face that does, and I know you love him, and I love him too. You're going to
say The Miz?
We're going to talk about The Miz. Because,
I knew it.
Because a certain someone came back tonight and hit that black mass. Aleister Black came back, old theme, everything. What'd you think?
I loved that. They've also just done that, though. They did that with Naomi. She came back to the Royal Rumble last year with her old theme. And then, 2 weeks later, they changed it. They did that to Johnny Gargano, too, as well. He came back to his old theme and then, changed it shortly after. So I don't trust the theme song department in WWE, because whenever people return, it's a lot of the time it's their old themes, but then they change it a week or two later. So I don't trust that. But I am excited. I hope. Also, big night for Zelina Vega, his wife, too, as well. New United States champion. So it was a big night for their household.
I have to say, and I love me some Chelsea Green. Love Chelsea Green for a long time. And Zelina Vega, for as long as she's been with that doggone company, I think it's about time that she finally, been the women's tag champ, but she finally has a singles title. Do you think it was too soon for Chelsea to lose it, or are you cool with the outcome?
I'm a Chelsea girl. I'm friends with her. I was surprised. I'm not going to lie. I was like, Zelina already has, granted one was by accident, legit accident. I was like, Zelina's already defeated Chelsea twice. Chelsea always retains in those situations, even if she's lost in non-title matches. It's like, Chelsea's got this. And then Zelina pinned her. I was surprised. I'm not mad at it, but I feel like they still could have done more with Chelsea and the Secret Harvest. Alba Fire hasn't been part of the Secret Harvest for that long, So what's going to happen now? I don't know. Where does Chelsea? I mean, I know Chelsea will be fine. She's great at her character work. She can pivot, but I was having a lot of fun. I don't think it's going to be too long of a reign for Zelina. I think she might be a transitional champion. I hope I'm wrong, because the women's US title has been really fun so far. I just don't know what to expect because we've never seen Zelina as a singles champ. So maybe that's a good thing. It's unpredictable. I don't know what to expect from her. But I am happy for her nonetheless.
I look at it like this. I mean, with the crop of women that we have, it looks like we're going back to Tiffany and Nia, which I'm okay with. I'm all right with that. Your thoughts on, first of all, Naomi. Man, when she was a heel with Team Bad 10 years ago, and her as heel now, this proceed with caution, and she just is amplified it. What do you think of Naomi as a heel now?
Naomi is so over the top that it's funny, but it's so entertaining. And this, this is how it should be. That WrestleMania should not have been the end of that feud. This is one that's going to be probably like a trilogy. Maybe the third leads the reported Evolution too. That would be a perfect place to have it happen. I'm glad that they're continuing with Jade and Naomi because there's still so much more. Jade got the win over her, but Naomi is going to coax her into a rematch. She's not done fighting for her. Naomi wants to get her shine, and Jade needs to proceed with caution. So I am very happy to see a non-title women's feud just keep going. It's been a while. I think probably the latest one we had was Becky and Trish. That went for a while, and there was never, I guess the tag titles that started with that, but there was never a singles championship involved. So I'm excited to see this continue.
Alrighty. I do have two other women's topics that we're going to mention before we get to our closing here. And I will say this. I'd love to have you back on for another round, man. You have always been such a blast, and you're a dear friend of mine. I'd love to have you back on for another show.
Absolutely.
Now, let's get into some final two women's topics before we get into our closing, folks. Tiffany Stratton, Charlotte, my God. And also the friggin' bump boom right here on Tiffany Stratton. Good Lord, those women kick the crap out of each other. Your thoughts on Tiffany and Charlotte, and also just everything that we're seeing now with Tiffany Stratton, just amplifying her up with that title.
I did not think it was a 1.75 stars that Dave gave.
Oh, for
I don't know
God's
if you saw that. I didn't think that it was that bad. I will say I was surprised. I'm not surprised that it was physical and they were a little bit stiff with each other. I am surprised that like Charlotte didn't even get her moonsault in, because like they're like the queen of moonsaults. Like, why would you not get that in? Obviously, like, I'm a Charlotte girl. Obviously not her best WrestleMania match. I didn't think it was that bad though, personally. No. I will say I was expecting, that was one I was like kind of torn on, but I was leaning, Charlotte's gonna win. But obviously, she's giving Tiffany the rub, and Tiffany defeated her at WrestleMania. Where does Charlotte go from here? Does she become self-doubt? She got beat by a 25-year-old rookie, as Tiffany put it before. Where does Charlotte's character go from here? She got knocked down a peg, but also when you fall, you got to stand back up. So I want to see what Charlotte can do from here, especially considering it seems that they're going Nia and Tiffany again. Does Charlotte align with Naomi? And then you have Bianca and Jade once, Bianca heals, of course. I don't know. But I want to see also what Charlotte can do without a title. So, especially considering they're going Nia and Tiffany, it seems. So,
I think with Charlotte giving her the rub like she did with Rhea last year, the Rhea one told a great story from losing at WrestleMania back in 2020. Yeah. And this, her amplifying up, just gives another stock on the Tiffany Stratton rise. And I mean, I'm going to put this into perspective, and I hate to do this, but you're on the show, and forgive me, and my apologies, folks. That's not for LJ. That's for the 60-year-old man-child that is known as Dave Meltzer. The 0.1 star. No. I saw.
What's funny? My friend basically did that last week.
Really?
If you saw. If you saw the promo that I'm referring to during a certain match at WrestleCon Super Show.
Okay, now I'm going to have to go back and watch that back. Thank you. But no. Oh, wait. Yeah, I know who you're talking about. All right.
Yeah.
I'm going to put it over here just because she was great for it. I had to think about that. Mickie James, you true. And I love Mickie James ever since her inception, WWE and all around. I know you're the biggest Mickie fan, and your friendship and everything there. That gives me another stock because of what she said about Dave Meltzer during WrestleCon. You go, Mickie. All right. Get that out of my system. But yes, no, I did not think it was 0.1 stars, whatever the hell he said.
Crazy.
Whatever. It was stiff, and I think they worked well with each other, and that just goes Charlotte just putting her over. And I mean, speaking of putting over, we put it over before, man. Evolution 2, the rumors coming out. I mean, 2018, we saw the first one. What are your thoughts on that coming back, man? Let's go.
I'm so excited. I think we could be getting some debuts and returns. If it happens, we'll definitely get some legends. I'm trying to make it out there if it's in Connecticut. I'm aiming. I already took some time off in case it happens. They need to announce it already, though. They just announced like Money in the Bank. They're announcing stuff for July as well. Like, hello, we need Evolution 2 announced. I am so excited. I have so many dream matches for that could potentially happen. And also now with like all these partnerships, you could have TNA, you could have AAA, hell, I don't know, you could have NWA, you could have Legends. There's so many possibilities.
I think that's what's so great about wrestling, folks. Again, we mentioned the possibilities, but wrestling is one of the greatest art forms out there right now. And it's a really exciting time. We've said that a lot over the years, but this really right now in 2025, this is an exciting time to be a professional wrestling fan.
Especially if we're getting Evolution 2 and you're a women's wrestling fan.
Yes.
They just need to freaking announce it now, though.
I have also been a fan of this. I mean, ever since we came at the Mae Young Classic years ago, and
Yeah.
that first one, I'm like, we need more of these. And I think we're going to
agree.
get it. I think we're going to get it. And speaking of something that we're going to get, the last time I had you on the show, a mere 3 years ago now, you said beautifully what beauty, strength, and dominance meant to you, the mindset of this show, and the message that I try to have with each and every one of my guests, especially great women like yourself. But I also have to ask this. You have been doing this podcasting thing for a long time now, and you're very good at it, and you really do and apply your craft awesomely. And I say that with the utmost sincerity and respect. So for you, what are some of the takeaways that you've learned thus far, being in podcasting, being in the journalism side of things? What's something that really has stood out for you, especially being a great woman doing the damn thing on the content side of things?
Oh my gosh, it's crazy that this month was 2.5 years. It was 2.5 years I've been full time in writing and in interviewing and all that stuff. It's still crazy. Big takeaways though, like we were talking about like 5 years ago, like it'll be 6 years this July since I started. Like it just snowballed into something. Like honestly, you just need to get your foot wet, like foot in the water. You know, I had a plan for college. I got a degree, completely went another way. That's just how great professional wrestling is. Honestly, like if you're interested in, or you think or have an interest in starting podcasting or writing, honestly, you just need to get your feet wet. It starts out as a hobby. It could turn into something completely, different. It could become your whole world. Like it's become for me now. I think it's just getting started and everything. And also like building connections has been really I've met so many cool people like yourself, and like a lot of legends both in the media space and wrestlers themselves. It's really cool. I think it's also like, be kind too, because there's, like you mentioned, there's so much tribalism and stuff. Be kind, be ambitious. Just really get started if this is something that you're thinking about. Have fun too at the same time, because wrestling can be so serious. I know before I was legit mad about a fake sport in an outcome. At the end of the day though, I'll move on, but that I'm just passionate about it. Okay. So be passionate, but also be kind.
No, beautifully said. I say that all the time with tribalism. I said this, and I'll use this as an example, as you guys have heard throughout this show, and as long as I've known you with your feelings about Karrion Kross, and I mean, you promos are great, and I understand that you're not going to see me go, "Hey, Ella, go F yourself for not liking Karrion Kross." Like, no,
that'd be so funny.
That would be funny, but yeah, no, like. It's just, and I like that we mentioned the rant with Dave Meltzer, but it's stuff like that. It's just enjoy it, watch it, love it, take it in. There's different things out there. There's so much variety out there that you can watch. Just take it in, man.
Drink it in, man.
Drink it in, man. So with that being said, beautifully and eloquently said, if you have not checked her out, I've been a guest on your fine show, and I definitely will do something in the future again. Go check out Ella, because I'll let you take the floor right here. Promote the socials. Go ahead, man.
Ooh, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Blue Sky at It's Ella J. If you go to the link in my bio, all my links to my projects, podcasts, and writing are all there in one place for you, nice and easy.
Beautifully and eloquently said. Links will be in the description. You've had some badass guests on there from the world of wrestling, especially stateside, international side. You've gone across the globe, man, and I've been enjoying what I've been hearing. And I definitely check out Miss Ella J on a Wrestling Gal podcast. If you want to follow this fine podcast, it's LFCfights.com. It's S&M Network show. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, which has our first ever episode from 3 years ago from the LFC podcast on it, and so many great shows. My links and Ella's links will be in the description below. And I haven't said this in a while, but Ella J, it has been a pleasure to chat with you. And do you have any final words for the people and everything as far as wrestling fans go? Go right ahead.
Yeah, take a break. If you're like me and you're kind of overwhelmed, it's a great Super Bowl, but it can be a lot. It's okay to take a break. We all need a break sometimes. Or if you're crazy like me sometimes, just keep doing what you're doing,
I love that. I love that. Brutal, honest, and just take a break if you need to. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Mental health is key in everything.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So with that being said, folks, positivity and love and life is an art form. We're all applying our crafts. Continue to apply your craft in amazing fashion. And much like the show is titled, Beauty, Strength, and Dominance, the 3 key elements that make women the work of art that they are. And Ella J, my gal pal, I include you in those sentiments. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.